Hello, this is Cheryl Wilson, abstract painter. Again, thank you for coming back to my channel. If you're new here, I do abstract paintings and I talk about how to improve your paintings from my viewpoint and some artist chats. Anyway, let's get into this painting. This is a 18 by 24 on paper. I call it That's Exactly the Point. And it is primarily black and white with a mixture of a few other colors to get to that beautiful green. And I love black and white. I do a lot of black and white. I get a lot of requests for black and white. So this is a very simple, almost a minimalistic, but a messy minimalistic, I guess you could call it, painting. It has some drips. It has different tools. So I thought you would enjoy seeing this. If you're a new abstract painter, this hopefully will be an easier one for you to paint. And if you're seasoned, maybe this will help you tone down if you tend to put a lot on your canvas or your paper. And that was my problem when I first started painting, was putting way too much. It was hard to have a painting that was more had a lot of white space. So I hope you enjoy this, and without further ado, let's get started. So I hope to eventually show you my new setup. I hope this is a little easier for you to see than the very messy table I had before. I am going to tweak a little bit because the plastic I have underneath this is a little thin. So anyway, you're here to look at the painting, but I'm starting this painting. It is a piece of mixed media, not watercolor. Which means it doesn't have that porous quality to it. It's more of a flat surface. So I started with a basics white, titanium white, just putting white all over the painting, all over the paper. And I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I'm thinking I want to do black and white, but in my mind I don't know. I'm just playing, and I have a couple other paintings I'm going to be putting together to show you that I had already done those. So I had already kind of gotten warmed up, but I knew I wanted something kind of minimalistic, something fun, loose, of course very abstract. So I started with black. It was a just regular flow of the golden, and I used a medium-sized paintbrush, and then I used a thin one just to make some lines. I'm adding in some titanium white, and that titanium white tube, it's the high flow. I use that in almost all my paintings. I use black and white in almost all my paintings. Because it's a great contrast. So I'm taking just a thin brush, and I was splattering some white paint, but now I am using the paintbrush to mix the black and white together to get a tone of gray. And so I'm looking at the painting and I'm thinking, let me put some water. So I sprayed some water on, and I'm just adding another shape. Now, what I do a lot, and I catch myself, and you may do this, is both those shapes are about the same. I do that a lot. It's just something that happens when I start my paintings. I have to go back and I have to think about what I'm doing and correct that, because even though one's gray and one's black and it's a different value, the eye's going to kind of fight looking at the two different shapes. The eye loves a difference in your paintings. So you'll see me go back and do a little change of the shapes. But I'm adding more water in, and I'm using just a paper towel to add some underpainting. And underpainting, when I say underpainting, I'm talking about just a background. I don't like just a stark, even on a minimalistic type painting. I do like my background underpainting to have some life and some marks. A lot of times I will push them back with a more transparent or a coating of some white or another transparent color, because I don't want it to compete with the items that I have that I want to be the focal point in my abstracts. But I could have left this painting right like that. I mean, it would have been fine. But I was having fun. I was playing, so I just kept going on this one. So I altered that shape. So now the two shapes are a little bit different from each other, which is good. But I'm still going to tweak a little bit as I continue to work on this particular painting. I am grabbing now a graphite woody and just marking into it. I do not like my marks to look like they've just been put on the top. So I always do like a push-pull where I will put a mark in and then I will somehow cover up part of it, or in this case I'm rubbing the mark because they are water soluble, which means they will maneuver and move in the painting if you get moisture on it. Now I'm going in with white, and I'm just playing with the underpainting, and I'm giving the underpainting some life. I still have those two shapes there as the focal point, but I want the underpainting to have something in it. I want, when the person is looking at the painting, the eye, I want them to have something to look at. Not to fight with my big shapes, but just to have something there. So you'll see me go in and out and make marks and scratch in with tools or use graphite or charcoal, and a lot of times I'll use both. And just as a reminder, you'll want to spray a fixative when you use a water soluble piece or tool in there, because you want to really make it so it's stable and doesn't reactivate or smear. So again, I'm just going in with different tools, more marks on the painting, just to enjoy. You'll see I have a little dish there. That is a soap dish that I painted, that I put a couple of my favorite, there's a graphite and there's a piece of charcoal in there. I just throw them in there and have it beside my painting area every time I paint. But I'm looking and I'm thinking I might want an additional color in there. Again, you could leave your painting like this and it would be fine in a real beautiful matte and frame. You've got a lot to look at. Or you could add some more color. So I'm adding a golden fluid painting. It's I believe that is, it's like a yellow ochre, and when you mix the yellow with the black, a lot of times you'll get, and it depends, it's in all variations of paint, you will get a beautiful green, and there'll be different types depending on what yellows and what blacks that you're mixing. But you'll see in a minute when I mix that yellow ochre in with the black, it turns almost like an olive green. And then you can vary that with some white to even make it a lighter olive green. So I love the green that I get. There is a green gold with goldens I like, but I do not like it straight out of the bottle. I always want to add some black or white to it. So when I mix my own like a olive green or like a green gold, I love it so much better. But you can see here where I'm adding different amounts of each of the colors to come up with my own palette. They're just black, white, the like a gold or a yellow, in this case ochre, and you're going to get you can get so many different colors, but I'm going to have different colors of that green in here, which is exactly what I wanted. I'm starting to build the difference between the two shapes so that the eye does know there is two bold shapes on here, but they're different enough and different in size enough that they're going to be interesting enough to look at. So I'm just going to work on the painting and be quiet and let you just watch me play with the different sizes and scratches and what I normally do, and I hope you enjoy this.
This Polaroid picture of us from June 24th. It's where I kissed you for the first time, laid on your sheets. You gave me your heart and said you trusted with me, but all I did was let you down time and time again. It wasn't my intention, maybe we should have been friends. So, you're someone I used to know, but nobody said it'd be easy. But maybe I should have known. One more drink to swallow it down. I gotta get you out of my mind. But nobody said it was easy. Maybe I should have known. I've been out till late, shifting beds, trying to kill the image of you. Got a million stupid reasons not to call. It's just that I want to. Do you remember how we pulled the drapes in the basement to get away from the world that we couldn't fit in? And how we used to walk those empty streets at night in the city lights is where I saw you for the last time. Said our goodbyes, sat in the car, you saw the pain in my eyes, but I just couldn't let you down time and time again. It wasn't my intention, maybe we should have been friends. So, you're someone I